ceremony directly to your own device.
Okay.
And I think there was somebody else that had requested that, and I
Me.
gave them that as well. Yep. So Kate, you've got that.
Thank you, Russ.
And then
Thank you.
our groom today is Jason Scott. Our
Yeah.
bride is Rose Gindap. Am I saying that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or Rosario.
Rosario Espanola Gindap.
Yes.
Okay.
He says that better
And
than I can.
and then we've got the brother of the bride as one of our witnesses, and I'm assuming a good friend of the groom as the other witness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Did I also hear correctly that we have people joining from Australia, New Zealand, Canada,
And Saudi Arabia. I am
Saudi Arabia,
Yes.
and the Philippines?
Yes, all over the world.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
For the
Thank you.
Yep. I brag that I work out of the world's largest wedding venue.
Yes. Sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm getting a little bit of an echo. So if you've got two devices in the same room, be sure to mute one of them.
Mute it. Yes.
They
Rose. Yeah, Rose, your
Yeah.
Unmute.
laptop needs to be muted.
Unmute.
There we go.
No, mute.
Mute, only mute.
That'll work.
May
Yep.
have to turn the sound
Yeah.
off on that laptop.
Yeah. And you might need to also take the volume down on that second device.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you able to make it so whoever talks is a large picture?
Yes. Let me move it back to the speaker view. And that should be it. But it also depends on what you've got on your own device. So sometimes on your own device, you can change your own view. All right.
Now we're all the same side. Oh, well, no.
Now I just highlighted Jason, and now I'm
Change.
going to highlight Rose.
Okay.
Nope, I'm going to add.
There we go.
That works.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's who we're all here to see. I mean, I could make it so you could see me better, but I've been told by good authority I have a face for radio. So I am happy to be a disembodied voice. All right, well, Jason and Rose, here's how the ceremony is going to work. I start off with a little speech that I give, and then I'll finally ask the important questions, which is, Jason, if you take Rose to be your wife, and Rose, if you take Jason to be your husband. You can answer with yes or I do, or any of the traditional things that people like to say. And then, are you going to try to do anything with wedding rings as a part of today's ceremony?
Yes.
So do you have your own rings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do we want to just skip that part? I can, whatever you guys want to do.
We have rings.
Okay, I will lead you through my version of the remote rings, and that'll be a good time. And then have you, either of you prepared your own vows for today?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Then we'll have you share your vows. And then after the vows, I will make sure that the witnesses of record witnessed everything. And if they did, I can then pronounce you. That's the end of the ceremony. And then we'll spend some time finalizing your certificate. Sound good?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well then, Rose and Jason, I welcome you and your witnesses and your guests from wherever they may be. And by my count, we've got at least 3 different continents going on, if not more, and probably a half dozen countries all over the world. And Australia is about as far as I can go. If you keep going from Utah to Australia, you start coming back home. And so I welcome you all to the historic courthouse here in Utah County in the city of Provo. By joining me by remote appearance, your marriage will be solemnized under and legally bound by the laws of the state of Utah. And I also want to point out that we are able to gather in this fashion because of the miracles of modern technology and communications and computers And these are powerful tools that bring people together.
Mm.
But don't you ever lose sight, Rose and Jason, of the fact that the most powerful thing that will bring you together is the love that you have for one another. That love will always bring you together, even and most especially when it seems like there are forces beyond your control that are keeping you apart. Just also want to mention that it's a brave thing to go out on the adventure of life. Sometimes life gets to be fun and exciting. So I encourage you to bring your very best friend, so you've got someone to share all of the good times together with. But it doesn't take much for the adventure of life to turn difficult and challenging. You better also bring along the person that you trust the most, so you have someone to rely on during the hard times. For these and 100 other reasons, it is good that you have found one another and chosen one another as companions on the adventure of life. Well, that's enough from me. So the question is, Jason L. Scott, do you willingly take Rosario Española Guindap as your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Rosario Española Guindap, do you willingly take Jason L. Scott as your legally and lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Excellent. Here's what I'm going to ask each of you to do now. Take out your ring and just hold it up to the camera so we can all see your wedding ring for a second. First thing we're going to do is look at the shape of those rings. Notice that they have no beginning and they have no end. That's what makes them the perfect symbol of the love that a married couple has for one another. Now, this is kind of unique. Hold your ring in such a way that when you look through your ring, you see the face of the person that you love inside that ring. You don't get to put them on each other's fingers today, but you are now looking at the person that you love inside the symbol of your love. Now go ahead and place the ring on your own finger, and you will wear that ring as a reminder to yourself and a symbol to the rest of the world that today you have promised your everlasting love to one another. All right, Jason, I'll ask you to go first. Share the vows you have prepared with your beautiful bride.
When I first tried to write down all the things that I wanted to say, I realized that it would be too long and still not say everything I want to. I'm so proud and happy that we started as friends, with months of chatting before we met in person. I visited you as a friend with a promise, and I stay true to that. I promise to always treat you with respect and as an equal. I was so content and at peace when I was with you, and that was every hour of every day. I felt comfortable being who I am, and I wanted to know the real you. I was so happy when our love grew together slowly. And I will be with you through good days and bad. I think of you every day since we've been apart. And if I were to plant a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. And now, together, we will make the rest of our lives the best of our lives. I love you, Rose.
And now, Rose, it is your turn to share the vows you have prepared with your handsome groom.
The love we possess is genuine and true. This I believe with all my heart. So in the presence of our family and friends, I promise to be your best friend, lover, and avid fan, especially in believing that low carb and carnivore diet is the best for both of us. To be yourself always, so the right people will love the real you, and to create a life that feels good in the inside, and to make the rest of our life the best of our life. To be your faithful wife in good times and in bad, as well as in sorrow and happiness. I promise to love you unconditionally, to honor, cherish, and respect you, to support you in your goals, to grow old with you, and to always listen and compromise. The communication thing that we always talk about as we go through our journey together. I love you, Jason Scott. I can't wait to do life with you.
Beautiful. All right. Jose, did you hear these two say they want to marry each other?
I do. Yeah, I hear it clearly
All
and
right.
loud.
And same question to Cyril. You also heard them?
Yes, I did.
All right. That means there's only one thing left to say. It's my line, and it goes like this. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a deputy county clerk, by the laws of the state of Utah, from where I am hosting this ceremony, I now pronounce you Jason L. Scott and Rosario Española Guindap, husband and wife, legally and lawfully married. You may now blow each other kisses as husband and wife.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to all of you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, here's what's going to happen next. I need to take a few minutes to finalize the certificate for this couple. I'm going to mute my camera and microphone while I do that. That's going to take a few minutes. While I'm doing that, everyone else, please continue to share your congratulations with this wonderful couple.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That was the most.
Congratulations.
exciting.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful.
Titanium ring.
You know,
Just send, just
Thank you, Keith.
Jason and Ross, just send me your size and I will buy for your wedding ring.
Oh, we have a wedding.
Wow.
Great. Thank you, my dear brother.
oh,
For anything else, I would like to thank you, Cyril and Shireen, for being with us, and to Jason's son, to Philip, to made it to be around also, and also to Alan for offering her place, and of course to Graham and to Keith as well, and to my brother, to my mom.
Congratulations.
You made our day so special.
Yes, very special.
Hope we'll make more special in Philippines when you come back, Jason.
Yes, I will.
And also to James and Nicole, Jason's stepson. Thank you for being with us on our special day.
I think anyone else is allowed to unmute. So anyone who's muted and wanted to say something, I think you have the power to unmute yourself at this point.
Oh, congratulations to the both of you. Welcome to the family, Rose.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Philip looks very handsome sitting back there, by the way.
Oh, thanks. You look beautiful too.
Oh, with my,
No picture.
hang on, I just realized.
Don't see you on video, Nicole.
Yeah.
you know, over the last 5, 6, 10 years that I've known Jason, I've been there with him at least a few times a week through the bad times, the good times, and everything else. And I always kept saying to him, never give up hope, because the woman that is right for you will be there. And there was times when he says, oh, I'm never going to find a woman. And I kept telling him, you hang in there, don't give up. I had my ups and downs, and I'd been through it a few times, and I kept giving him support and getting him going and do this and go there. And he said, should I go to the Philippines? And I said, go for it. She sounds like a wonderful woman. So
Yay.
Jason, congrats.
Congratulations to both of you.
Very, very happy for both of you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Serial and
All
Hi,
right.
Nicole.
Well, I hate to cut the celebration short, but I want to make sure we take care of the legal part of this.
Yep.
So I'm going to share my screen. We have gone completely digital with marriage licenses here in Utah County, and that's the game changer that lets us do these ceremonies by remote appearance because nobody has to sign a piece of paper. We don't all have to be in the same room. So I've got an address here for you, Jason. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. My information in the middle here is good. Jason, what is today's date?
For me, it is Friday, the 18th of August, 2023.
All right, and Rose, what's the date for you?
It's August 18, 2023.
That is absolutely correct for both of you. Unfortunately, you didn't get married
Yeah.
in Australia or the Philippines. You got married in Utah, where it's still only the 17th. So here's what will happen.
Okay.
All of your documents will say 17 because Provo is not only where you got married, but when you got married. But what I recommend for the two of you is, and this is advice I give to many couples in your situation. On the 17th, you can go out to dinner and maybe celebrate your legal anniversary. And then on the 18th, you can take turns cooking each other breakfast in bed to celebrate the morning.
So you got two anniversaries.
You'll have two anniversaries. And again, most people don't get married as early in the morning as it probably is in the Philippines and Australia, certainly not as early as it is in Saudi Arabia right now. What time is it there, Jose?
2:00 AM.
Yeah. And so when we do this around the world, we just learn to deal with all the different time zones. And again, lots of reasons to celebrate your union. All right,
Yeah.
Jose and Cyril, do I have your names spelled correctly and the way you'd like them to appear on the wedding certificate?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your marriage license will have your name, where you're born, where you're currently living, and your ages. And then on the 17th of August in Provo, Utah, you were married, your signatures, your witnesses' names, my information, everything on that look correct.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing I don't see specifically is you have a specific license number. Or is that what's
Yes.
like the phone number?
And it's not on this one, but your license number is 288033, and that will appear on the official one.
That's the license number. Do you have an officiant number?
No, I don't have an officiant number. In Utah, we don't, officiants don't have to have their numbers. We just have names and titles, and then enough information that people can track me down if they need to.
Okay.
Yep. So that click of the mouse puts your marriage on record with the Utah County Clerk's Office. Here's what's going to happen. Within a matter of minutes, you're both going to get an email with a digital copy of your marriage certificate. Then you'll also get an email in probably another, not 12 hours, but 15, 16 hours from now, from our office, just making sure that everything's correct on your license and your address before we ship anything. If you need to have your marriage recognized in Australia and the Philippines, you're likely to need apostilles of that certificate. You can order those from our website, and the email that you'll be receiving has some instructions and a link to the ordering page on our website. And that's about that. Do you have any other questions for me?
I don't think so. I don't have the information easily available. I could look it up. The only reason I mentioned your number was because part of the visa application mentions that the officiant is required.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure what, I thought it said
Yeah.
an ID number or something. I might have that wrong.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. And again, that could certainly vary country to country. And so you might just have to explain to them that in the United States, officiants don't have numbers. The other thing that you can do is if they just care about having a number, use my zip code and my postcode and just tell them that's my number. Sarah, it looks like you had a question.
Yes, I'm just wondering, with Rose's name, does that automatically change? And then would it be easier if she had Jason's last name, Scott, for when he's doing immigration and visas for her to be able to come to the Australia? I
Yeah.
just think that might be something that might be a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question, and let me address that. And again, this is one of those things where marriage laws and the form and the information that's on the certificate varies jurisdiction to jurisdiction. In the state of Utah, the marriage license exists as we like to call it, a snapshot in time. And so it has your names as they were prior to the marriage. And again, our policy is that they match the identity documents that you presented. And so Jason, I saw your Victoria driver's license. Rose, I saw your Filipino passport. The names on the document match the names as they appeared on those two documents. And so that's just how it always is. And so in the United States, we don't change the name of the bride on the marriage certificate, even if the bride chooses to take her husband's name. So what you will do
That's my name.
is when you're in a position to change your name, and usually it's a matter of getting new identity documents, like a new, in the United States, a new driver's license or a new passport or a new national identity card, or whatever you've got. You would use the marriage certificate as proof of name change, but your maiden name, right? Your name prior to marriage is what's always going to appear on the certificate. The other thing that's somewhat different is some places have a place where you can indicate the name that you would like to have after you're married on the license or the application. In the state of Utah, we don't do that. And so it's just, whatever, but it's usually not a problem to take your husband's name again, and you would do that at the same time you would be getting new identity documents, a new passport, a new national ID, a new whatever.
Okay.
But that's a really good question, and a lot of people wonder about that. So I'm glad you asked, and hopefully my explanation makes sense, and again gives you everything that you need. The other thing that I would recommend, certainly for Rose, Jason probably as well, when you order the apostilles of your wedding certificate, there's a question whether you want to include the marriage license application. We sometimes call that the long form. I would recommend that both of you do that, particularly Rose, because I know that the Philippine government, I don't know the Australian as well, but the Philippine government wants information that's not on your certificate, but is on your application. And those are things like your full date of birth and prior marriages, if any, those sorts of things show up on your application, but not necessarily on the certificate. In America, the certificates usually just have your names, your ages, and, current, where you were born and current location down to the city. So that's that. Those are good questions. Anything else for me?
I think that's good. Thank you very much,
All
Russ,
right.
for officiating. And,
Thank you very much.
and thank you for
Thank
representing
you.
the state of Utah to make this happen.
Oh, most welcome to do it. Happy to do it. And one of the things that I love the most is when I'm able to hear you share your vows with one another. It sounds like there is a wonderful love story behind this ceremony. But like all good love stories, it's just the first few chapters.
Yeah.
And so I will leave it to you to continue to write all of the other wonderful chapters of your love story. I need to get to some other assignments that I have, but it has been a pleasure to spend this last half hour with all of you.
Thank
I
you.
wish Jason and Rose
Thank you, sir.
particularly all of the happiness the world has in store for you, and then just a little bit more. And everyone on the call, have a safe and a wonderful day. For most of
Thank
you, you'll
you,
be
sir.
beginning your day. I need to put in about another 2 hours of work, and then I get to call it a day. Have a
Thank you,
good one.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Thank you.